Welcome to the Johnson Collection, New England Patriots radio broadcasts from 1985 through 2026. And in this edition of Patriots Extra Points, we have a little clip of Patriots owner Victor Kiam. It's Super Bowl week, January 25th, 1990. We go to Radio Row and the Eddie Andelman Show on 850 WHDH. He has writers Kevin Mannix and Ron Hobson on, and in this little clip, Ron Hobson talks to Victor Kiam about ownership, coaching, and player personnel. It's a short piece, but if you come away from it like I do, this owner knows he can never win.
Victor, in the fact that you've made your decision on Raymond, you're going to go ahead with him. That being the fact, the fans have accepted that to a point. I don't know what point that is. The fact is, to make a dramatic change on this team, you have to address your most important problem, quarterback.
I agree.
Pat Sullivan says that's the number one problem. Are you prepared to go after Steve Young of the 49ers with great vigor? Because he is obviously the most valuable quarterback out there right now that wants to be a starting quarterback. Are you prepared to do that? Because that's certainly, you're going to take a big hit season ticket-wise. Pat admits that. Everybody in your organization admits that because of what's happened. That could turn it around. Are you prepared to do that?
I would say that the likelihood of Steve Young being available is almost nil. Because I think that Eddie DeBartolo realizes that Joe Montana may have 1 year left if he decides to play again, or 2 years, and that Steve Young is one of the premier quarterbacks, even though he hasn't started that many games. And I think it's going to be very, very difficult for any team to get Steve Young, as for instance. But we're going to look at what's available out there. I had hopes for Everett, but we never even got a shot because, boom, he was gone with a multi-year deal. So there's no door that's closed. And there are some good quarterbacks, 2 or 3 in the draft, that our folks think could be an asset, could make it. So we're not looking to field a team that doesn't have the best potential for winning. Now, when you do that, you also have to look at some of the players who have been around for a long time and say, and this again is up to the coaches and the people who really know, are they the horses that you can win with in the future? Because we have some long-term players. We discussed Gary Jeter, and he was not so favorably regarded by one individual. Maybe Gary Jeter is past his peak. Maybe Raymond will think that we have to get somebody else. I will tell you, he thought he played pretty darn well last year. So if you look at the team, the defensive line lacked a pass rush. That was, against the run, they weren't that bad. There were a couple of games where they didn't do so well. The New Orleans game, for example. But on balance, against the run, they weren't bad. Where we really hurt was pass defense. I think we were the 27th in the league. Obviously, that's one area that has to be attacked, even if you got a quarterback.
You have been listening to the Johnson Collection.